This is a Pennsylvania diversity action in which plaintiffs were successful in recovering damages under the strict liability theory of Section 402A of the Restatement of Torts for personal injury caused by defectively designed machinery. On appeal, defendants have raised several trial errors, chiefly that the district court erred in resubmitting the foreseeability issue to the jury, and in sua sponte, setting aside the jury's finding of assumption of the risk. Finding no merit in any of the allegations raised, we affirm. This product liability action arose from an accident in which Wilbur McLaughlin suffered the amputation of his left thumb when he was preparing a gear hobbing machine for use. The particular machine McLaughlin was preparing was a hobber manufactured by defendant and sold to McLaughlin's employer by defendant, Gear Shaper Company. A hobbing machine is a milling machine used to cut teeth into cylindrical steel pieces which will become gears. The machine involved is designed for automatic high-speed operation. It is equipped with adequate pinch point guarding during automatic operation. Before actually operating the machine, however, the worker must prepare or set up the machine by making certain adjustments to the machine to ensure that the correct size gear is produced. Because precise adjustments are required, it is necessary for the worker to have access to the dangerous cutting surface area. The setup procedure also involves jogging the machine manually, that is, causing the machine to rotate briefly. During the setup operation, the machine is in the manual mode. It was while McLaughlin was engaged in jogging the machine in the course of carrying out the setup operations that the accident occurred. McLaughlin was balancing in a half-crouch position on top of the machine, setting up the machine, and was using his left hand for balance and support. When he lowered the collar of the machine to the workpiece, the machine cut off his thumb on his left hand. The plaintiff's theory at trial was that the gear hobber was defective and unsafe since it did not have an automatic interlock or two-handed control switch, which could be used during the manually operated setup procedure. Defendants presented a two-pronged defense. First, defendants maintained that the machine was not defective because an automatic interlock was not necessary during the setup stage when the machine was being operated manually. And second, the defendants argued that McLaughlin had assumed the risk. At the conclusion of the evidence, the district court submitted the interrogatories to the jury covering the issues of the case. Upon learning the jury's answers, defendants moved for entry of judgment in their favor, and plaintiffs moved for a mistrial. The district court denied both requests. Instead, the court submitted 2 additional questions to the jury to clarify the foreseeability question, in particular to determine the effect of McLaughlin's standing on the machine during the time it was being set up for operation. After ascertaining that the jury was unanimous in its answers to these supplemental interrogatories, the district court asked the following questions of the jury in open court and received the following responses. The court: finally, members of the jury, by the answers that you have given, is it your intention to find in favor of the plaintiffs or in favor of the defendants? Can somebody state what you have in mind? The foreperson: plaintiff. The court: you all agree you intend to find in favor of the plaintiffs in the sum of $125 million? Subsequently, the district court set aside the jury's finding of assumption of the risk and entered judgment in favor of the plaintiffs in the amount of $135 million, including delay damages. Defendants' subsequent motions for judgment notwithstanding the verdict and for a new trial were denied by the district court. Defendant's first argument
So.
Judgment notwithstanding the verdict. That's judgment NOV, common thing. See now, why should it be NOV? Notwithstanding. Oh, probably. That's where the judge says that despite the jury doing that, he has the power to set it aside because they'll all appeal everything. And he sets it aside. The jury probably came in for the defendant, so he sets it aside. He says, I think that the plaintiff's proved his case, and there's no way you can come back for the defendant.